Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. We have not done a weather update in, I think, 36 hours, so it is time for a weather update. This will be the only stream that I do today. I will be back to my regular schedule at doing streams twice starting tomorrow. But welcome in, guys. Megan, good to see you. Good to see Chelsea. Good to see you guys. DM Gaming. Tiffany, what is up? What is up, guys? As always, I appreciate you guys. Tiffany and Abby, thank you guys for the heart me's, as always, as well. What is up, y'all? How's everybody doing today? Um, the good thing about today is Erin is leaving. Erin is officially leaving our viewing area after today is over with. Really, technically today and tomorrow, but for all of these lovely people that thought that this was going to hit the East Coast, they were wrong. And we try to tell them that they were wrong, but people just don't listen. We all know that. Leave it to the professionals. Leave it to people like me that know what we're talking about. Don't listen to those people out there that fearmonger and romanticize over wanting storms to hit the United States and all that bullcrap. So, welcome, guys. We're going to talk about Erin briefly here. There's still some minor impacts on going along the eastern Outer Banks right now, but Erin is pulling to the northeast, going out to sea. This is actually already a Cat 1 hurricane. It's weakening significantly. It's getting ripped apart by shear, which is a great thing. We're going to talk about the next couple tropical waves behind Erin that are also not really a concern to the United States. They're both also going to be mostly fish storms. We're going to have a little bit of a pause on tropical activity going towards the end of this month, as well as the first week of September. But as soon as we get into September, it looks like we're going to start to get things right back going again, going toward that second, third, and fourth week. So, we'll get a lull in our severe weather, and we'll get a lull in tropics probably going into next week. Not a lot to talk about. We'll just be dealing with a lot of cooler air. We're going to talk about that as well here. We got a major cool down ongoing for the United States going into next week, and then we're going to get things going into September and October as we typically do. So I will be posting a very interesting video tomorrow, talking and calling out all of these lovely people that just fantasized that Erin was going to hit the East Coast and they said that the government was controlling it and stupid stuff like that. So I will be doing a video tomorrow. That'll be interesting. Calling out those lovely people for their stupidity and nonsense. So I hate to be them. That's all I'm going to say on that. That's one win for us, guys. We definitely called the first hurricane of the year pretty damn well, I think. There was never a doubt that this was going to make a United States landfall. This was definitely going to be out to sea as we agreed on. This goes to show you guys that meteorology is, in fact, what it is, that it's the forecast that called for this storm to go out to sea verified. So once again, I would love to see where all of these people are that were saying this was going to hit the United States. Actually, I know where they are. They are actually talking about the next system behind Erin that's also going to go out to sea, and they are fantasizing on the idea that that storm is going to hit the United States. So there's always going to be something that people jump to after the system, after the storm that we're watching currently goes away. So that's just how it is. Well, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching reliable weather coverage. That is what I'm here to offer. Also, guys, we hit 100K followers. Super just excited about our journey here. We are doing amazing, amazing things. There's a bug. We are doing amazing things here on the channel. The biggest thing I ask, if you guys have not subbed to me over on YT, make sure y'all do that as well. We are trying to grow up there as well as we can. We're almost at 5K on there. We're about 1.5K away from 5K over there. So if you have not subbed to me on there, definitely consider doing that, because if TikTok ever goes away, you guys are going to want to get your weather from me. I'm assuming somewhere else. It'll be over on YouTube. So make sure you guys follow me on there as well. That link is in my bio, or you can just search me up on there. Super simple. I go live on both platforms, and I post on both platforms. So, anyways, let's talk about Erin here. Let's see what we've got here. Erin is a massive hurricane, down to a Cat 1 hurricane on the latest advisory here. He's still a strong Cat 1 hurricane. This is the 5 o'clock advisory that just came in here, and you can see we'll get to the other blobs that are out here behind Erin in just a minute. Large hurricane Erin turns northward, blah, 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 blah. Pressure is down to 952 millibars. Maximum sustained winds at 100. I don't even think we're getting 100-mile-per-hour winds inside this storm right now. It looks like crap on satellite imagery, which is also always great to see. Good thing is, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Pretty sure we called an out-to-sea curve 7 days before, actually 7 days ago, 6 to 7 days ago, we were talking about an out-to-sea curve, and I think the ensembles did a great job. I think the National Hurricane Center did a great job, given some of the things that Erin threw at us with the wibble wobbles and the farther west track with the stronger system. Other than that, spot on forecast. So I hate to see the people that get blasted on social media for messing this one up. But definitely a great call by the National Hurricane Center. They did an amazing job. Just much respect for them. Alerts were going out prior along the Outer Banks. They did a great job with that. But forecast was expected. It happened. So if you don't trust these people that post on the National Hurricane Center, if you don't trust the professionals that physically give us the data that we need to forecast, then I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, they did a great job. Super, super proud of what they did. As you guys can see, Erin is sitting out here. Erin is expected to pick up speed significantly by Saturday. Erin is basically going to become a subtropical storm. So by next Monday and Tuesday, Erin will be all the way up here west of like England. So a lot of the times when we get these systems that curl out to sea, they get caught up in a subtropical jet stream that comes off the coast here of Nova Scotia, and you got a lot of cold air coming down out of Greenland here that time of the year where the polar vortex starts to kind of set up there where we start to see cooler temperatures transition like we're going to see going into next week. But we still will have some impacts along the Outer Banks for just a little bit longer, but most of that will start to subside as we go into tomorrow. So super, super excited about that. Let's talk about this. All right, we got a pretty active map here. We've got 3 areas that we're watching for tropical development behind Erin. I will let you guys know right now, this storm right here, our next storm, this will in fact be Fernand. That'll be the next name on the list here. A tropical storm is expected by the beginning of next week, if not by the end of this coming up weekend here. The great news about this, we have superb, and I mean superb, ensemble agreement, both on the European and the GFS, that this is also going to recurve and go out to sea. I am not worried about this next system. I am not even thinking even near close to what Erin was at. We could get a hurricane out of this. Some of the intensity guidance does call for a hurricane, but our next system is also going to go out to sea. We're going to have a weekend ridge just because Erin took longer to move out. That weekend ridge is going to help our next system slip through and also go out to sea. So we'll be still watching it to keep you guys updated. Also, this little X here, got about a 10 to 20% chance of a tropical depression developing. This is probably not going to be anything. And then we have a very impressive 99L down here. And I want to watch this. The reason why I want to watch this is a lot of the times ensembles and models with these systems that kind of drag southward here closer along the major development region. Sometimes a lot of people they get caught up in other systems that are already ongoing, but you know, they say, hey, it may not look impressive. The ensembles and models aren't putting out a lot on this. If this tropical wave can low ride and kind of manage itself here with some type of convection as it gets closer to the Leeward Islands as we go towards the beginning of next week, some of the ensembles actually have this rejuvenating as it gets into the Caribbean. So I want to watch this wave next week as this kind of moves its way westward. I'm not saying we're going to get anything in the United States or anything like that because there's really not a lot of support for this system right now. But there wasn't a lot of support for this system a couple days ago when it started doing way more convection than the initial wave up here was. So I want to watch this very closely. We'll keep you guys updated on that. If we go and we look at our local ensembles here, I'm actually going to start with the European. And you guys can see here, latest European run. Let me go to the 12Z. Oh yeah, Sophie, it's crazy. And there's still people saying it's going to hit the United States when it's literally moving out to sea. So as you guys can see, Erin will be moving out to sea. We've actually got another chance at a tropical system that could develop right off the East Coast. We get those coastal fronts, those coastal lows that come off the North Carolina, South Carolina line there. And a lot of times they'll get into the waters here. And you can sometimes get a quick little spin up low that it gets going. And sometimes, you know, the ensembles can see that and they'll pick up on like a tropical depression or storm. But a lot of the times those come off the coast and then they move also to the east. So we'll see if something gets picked up on that over the next couple of days. Here's our next wave on the European model. Our ensembles here, very much agreement on an out to sea curve. If something were to change, I'll let you guys know. If you're in the Leeward Islands, again, just kind of be mindful here. But I don't expect too much of an issue. And this is the one that I want to watch right here. So not a lot of support in terms of intensity with 90L here, or I should say 99L is what this one is invest-wise. But if this storm can maintain itself, and like I said, the European ensembles really show this, the GFS do not. I'm going to believe the European ensembles mostly over the GFS any day. But anyways, we could see something maybe re-trigger here going toward the end of next week. So I'm not going to say for certain because the dermatistic models don't really have anything quite yet. Those don't really mean much because it's over 5 to 7 days out. But let's watch this wave here. Let's keep an update on this wave here because if this were to kind of hang around and not officially go away and fizzle out and still have a broad low or at least some type of organization, we could be dealing with something coming out of the Caribbean next week. So I'm going to watch that very, very closely here. Yeah, Erin wasn't another thing to be concerned about really anyways, other than the surf on the Outer Banks and the storm surge. So once again, all of these people out there that you guys saw on social media saying Erin was going to hit the East Coast, they don't have a meteorology background. They don't know what they're talking about. They're going to be wrong every time. It's just that simple. You can't forecast weather and say a hurricane's going to slash into the East Coast when there is no support for raw data that shows it. There was no ensembles that supported it. There were no demosystic models that supported it. We had 6 days straight of the last 6 days in a row, we're showing a recurve out to sea, and just people don't want to believe that because they think the government controls hurricanes. They think the government controls our weather, which is absolute nonsense. So they were wrong. We're not expecting any severe weather really at all for many areas today. There's one more chance of severe weather today and tomorrow up into the high plains. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But we're going to be seeing kind of a brief lull in severe weather as we go into next week. So those are the latest ensembles here. Here is, once again, Hurricane Erin expected to weaken, move its way out to sea. Here's our 2 Invest. So we have Invest 90L. This got designated this morning. This is 90L. Let me draw it here. And then this is 99L. So this is our next system. This will more than likely become Fernand. It looks like crap right now. This system will be recurving and moving out to sea as well. This is the one that we've got to watch that kind of hangs around here and kind of long track. So, like I said, not a lot of support with the National Hurricane Center. Doesn't really see too much with an issue with this right now. There's going to be some dry air out in front of this here. There's just not going to be too much of a favorable environment for the system to get going, unlike the one up here into the north. But as we go into the beginning of next week, we'll have to see what happens with this. That 30% is with a tropical. It's like a subtropical low that's just kind of sitting. Let me pull that up. I'm not too worried about the 30% either, because even if it were to develop, it's going to get sucked up by the next storm coming up north anyways. What causes hurricanes to turn? So you have steering mechanisms like troughing, you have high pressures, you have ridge. Erin basically got stuck between a ridge off the east coast and the Bermuda High, and so hurricanes like to go under paths of least resistance. So they're gonna go as far south of the ridge that they can. And this big massive trough, this cold front that's coming off the east coast right now, is what's pushing Erin officially out to sea. That trough and that upper level low are gonna have way much more pressure and forcing than the actual hurricane itself. Even with Erin being so big, it doesn't matter because the pressure inside the hurricane is a lot more concentrated compared to an overall broad upper level low where it's a lot bigger. So that is also why there. But I want you guys to know, we may have gotten lucky for the month of August, but September and October typically usually present, and they typically usually do some pretty wild things. I still think we're going to have a low, below average season this year, just given the major Julian oscillation. It's our basically our wave up in the Pacific that kind of allows convection to kind of filtrate around the globe here. We're going to be watching that. We're going to start, guys, as well, looking at winter weather outlooks as we go into the month of September as well. So we'll start talking those winter weather outlooks here once again as we go into September, for October, for November, December, because believe it or not, guys, in about 2 months, we're going to be talking about snow for some portions of the United States. And I'm crazy to say that, but that's what we will be talking about. So, yeah. Once again, spaghetti models right now. Watching a little East Coast system next week, and then here is our next system. This will more than likely be Fernand. Has a chance to become a tropical storm / hurricane, and then I want to watch this little low rider wave here. And then after that, there's not a lot of support for anything else behind those 2 waves right now, because we're going to have such a lull in our sinking air. We're not going to have a lot of sinking air out there. So, like I tell you guys, as always, whether you believe me or not, we called Erin spot on. The National Hurricane Center did a great job. I believe the forecast all the way through. It verified. But just be mindful, there's always going to be people on social media that are going to be fearmonger and that are going to post false information. And those people have no idea what they're talking about. They don't care if they're wrong or if they're right. They just want to make money off of your views. Slide past it, ignore it. Don't even give yourself the time to look at it. Come here, we'll keep you guys updated on the real-time information as things are happening. So, Justin and Broken Halo, good to see you guys, my members on YT. Appreciate you guys. What is up as well, bro? Good to see you. Also, let's talk too about severe weather here just briefly. We do have a little severe weather threat this afternoon. We actually had a mini tornado event in Canada yesterday, which was quite interesting as well. But we do have a marginal risk back down here into portions of Arizona. So that we do have a little bit of monsoon season kicking up here down into southern Arizona, Phoenix, and Tucson, or I can't say this every single time. Tucson, we have down here for you guys. We have that little marginal risk for some wind, and I believe for just a wind threat down there, so nothing too crazy. We do have a small tornado risk up today here in western Minnesota and northeastern South Dakota tonight. Just be mindful, an isolated tornado or 2 could be possible. Wind threat at 15 and 5% for that marginal and slight risk, as well as the hail threat too. So we're not expecting any significant severe weather tonight. It is Tucson. I know I said it right or wrong. I know. I was waiting for somebody to correct me. Thank you guys. That was chopped liver. I am not great at that. Every time I look at it on the map, I'm like, I know I'm not saying it right, but I can't remember how it's said. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just not clicking with things today. It's fine. But anyways, Marginal and Cyrus tonight, not too worried about it. Just be mindful from Pierre up to Grand Forks there into Aberdeen and Fargo. Could see a couple storms producing some wind, some hail, maybe a brief isolated tornado. Let's talk about that global pattern. So I want to mention this. This is the latest Dermatistic GFS run. It does have our tropical wave. We more than likely will have Tropical Storm Fernand by Saturday or Sunday, if not by Friday. It's possible tomorrow. But this will be moving out to sea here. It's going to be stuck again between two high pressures. You would think if Erin would have taken a little bit longer to get out, we may actually have something to worry about, but that's not the case. But I also want you guys to pay attention to something very interesting. And we talked about this yesterday in the last couple of streams. Look what starts to happen down here. This is what's called the CAG. It's the Central American Gyro. And a lot of the times, this is where Helene originated from last year. This is where Milton originated from last year. We haven't had any tropical systems in the Gulf yet this year. And so, or in the Caribbean. And so the water temperatures are very warm. They're in the 80s, pushing the 90s. There are some 90s, especially off the west coast of Key West there where the loop current is at. Not saying we're going to get anything in the too distant future here, but we start to see as we go toward the end of the GFS run here, and I know it's over 300 hours out, you're going to be like, why are we looking at this? We're just looking at pattern recognition to kind of see what we could be kind of in store for here. And I want you guys to see there's a lot of showers and thunderstorms that start getting going. Some lows start popping out. And if we start to get low pressures that pop off the Central American gyro here, these are what we have to watch that kind of slip up in these directions here. And that's where we really have our main United States threats for tropical systems. Not that we can't get something that comes off the coastline, but it's less likely as we go toward the end of the season here, as we see high pressures kind of dominating. But another thing too is if a wave were to come off and get itself together, there would be double highs here kind of suppressing everything that would go in this direction. So we got a lot of things to watch as we go into the month of September and October. It will definitely be interesting in terms of what the tropics are going to be like, but definitely some examples here of potential tropical systems getting up here. And we're even starting to see snow up in Canada get itself together. We're starting to see that polar vortex kind of set up there into Canada as we go towards the month of September. So we'll start to see those cold fronts come down, and will allow for cooler temperatures for much of the United States. So something I'm kind of noting here. Let me see if the latest, what did the icon do today? Okay, so the icon doesn't have anything in terms of really anything heading our way right now. Is the icon does like the idea of a tropical system off the East Coast by next Monday. So we will, I wonder if NHC will highlight something here. They'll put the X here and then kind of move it out in this direction. We'll see if they do that in the not too distant future. No, we're not going to see any United States impacts right now. We're going to watch this and keep you guys updated, but most of the guidance, if not all of the guidance, supports another recurve. We're just not going to have a strong enough high to kind of suppress this thing toward the United States. We're going to still watch it because things can happen. We know that. But right now I'm pretty confident in a recurve with our next system. Pretty much 100% on it. So once again, you're going to see people say, oh my God, another one's forming. It's going for the United States. Oh my gosh. If you guys learned anything from the fearmongers this go round, it's to definitely not trust them, and they definitely have no idea what they're talking about. So that's typical for this most of the time. So anyways, we love those people. They're super, super awesome. Anyways, let's talk global pattern here for a minute. I'm only going to be on here for just a little bit, guys, because I do have to go pick up pizza and get ready to watch some football tonight. It's the last week of preseason, so I'm going to be watching that. Let's talk globally here. Let's go look at the GFS model and see what it did for next week. All right. So right now, a little bit of some severe weather, like I said, over the next couple of days here across this region. Not anything too crazy. But as we go into the next couple of days here comes that massive cold front. This is what you're seeing everybody talk about. There's our next little tropical system here off the Leeward Islands. This massive cold front, this massive trough is going to kick this thing out to sea. That's why we're seeing that. We shouldn't even see our next system even get semi-close to the United States because of the trough that's coming in off the East Coast next week is going to pick this thing up and it's going to go. But guys, I'm talking like as we go into Saturday and Sunday here, that cold front's going to be suppressed all the way down here. We are going to see below average temperatures for this whole area for much of next week. So that is something that I am watching very closely. This is something that will be very interesting. And then as we go really even in toward the first week of September here, there's not a lot going on with the jet stream. And so this may open up the door potentially for some tropical development somewhere. We'll kind of keep things updated. But I just don't see a lot. But then as we go towards, over 300 hours out, this is what I would see for more severe weather potential as we go toward the month of September. So something to make note of here. And then we really, this is what I don't like to see is this. You get a kind of sort of mega trough setup that starts to get going as we go toward the end of the month and beginning of next month. So a lot of things to look at as we go into the September. I don't see a lot of really severe weather being an issue for the near to distant future. I would really say just cool air, fall air for much of the eastern half of the United States really going into next week. There's not going to be a lot of live streams much. There's not going to be too much to talk about other than like tropic updates and stuff like that. So you guys might see some Mesomat gaming streams a lot going into next week just because there's not going to be a lot to talk about. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. But do y'all have any questions on anything? Feel free to ask the Mesomat questionary. But yeah, this would definitely promote some potential severe weather as we go into the month here. Here's those temperature anomalies. Just kind of giving you guys an idea on how cold it's going to be. Look at that, guys. This is supposed to be the end of August, right? We're supposed to be in like a heat wave. You're talking 20 to 30 degree below average temps here. This is like Christmas almost. This is like an early Christmas present almost. So, I mean, it's very rare that we get something like this at the end of August. That's definitely for sure. It's going to be a sense of false fall more than likely because we'll probably have ridging build back in as we go towards September. But, I mean, you're telling me this is nice, guys. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it because we may see some heat rebuild back up and then we may see another cold front come through. But I'm kind of liking what we're seeing with our temperature anomalies going towards the month of September. It will definitely give us some up and down severe weather episodes as well for sure. So make sure you guys are prepared for fall severe weather season. It is definitely a thing. So let's take a look at those temperatures. We'll take a look at the dew points here as well. Here comes that massive cold front here. We'll start on Monday. I mean, look at this, guys. You're waking up in the Midwest in the Ohio Valley. We have 40s and 50s for morning time lows up into the Midwest. I mean, this is something we haven't seen since like March, April, or May, maybe even getting into June. This is a very, very nice trend. Sadly, if you're down here in the Southeast, you're not going to get much relief. That's the sucky-ish part about it. That cold front is going to get suppressed right around to the Texas-Louisiana line, and then it's going to get stuck. So, something to be watchful of there. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate it. Thank you. But then, like I said, I mean, we're going to see that low, and it's going to stay in place for, quite some time. We might even have some crispy, cool mornings for a lot of people there. So, I'm okay with it. You know what that means, guys? It means it's pumpkin spice latte time. So, that's freaking exciting. We will probably see that heat return to an extent, but, I mean, you're talking the end of August. If your highs are in the 70s and 80s, who's going to argue with that? It's the end of August. We're in the 70s and the 80s for highs. I mean, let's go, right? Like, literally. This is exciting stuff. Sadly, if you're down here, you're not going to get much of a relief. I hate to say that. Texas, Louisiana, down on the Gulf Coast, you're kind of screwed. But, yeah. Basically, work all time. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But, yeah. Will definitely be interesting to watch, which means you guys don't get to see a lot of me because there's not a lot of stuff to cover, which means you guys have to hop into my fun streams and hang out with me. I'm going to probably do a lot of gaming streams next week. We're going to play some Fortnite, some COD. If there's anybody out there that plays those games, you guys can always hop in stream with me and you can play and we'll do stuff like that. So we'll get a nice little break before September gets here and then it gets batshit crazy in the month of September. It typically does most times than not. Lady Lucy, what is up? Good to see you. I know, guys, we're literally going to be talking Christmas in 4 months. 4 months and 5 days. Sorry, 4 months and 4 days until Christmas. Isn't that wild? Like, legitimately, we're going to be talking about snow and ice and sleet in the next 3 to 4 months. Like, that's just boggles my mind a little bit. Just a little bit. Crazy, crazy stuff. What's up, Lucy? Got 2 Lucys in here. By the way, guys, please don't hesitate. Don't be shy. I am offering free meteorology one-on-one lessons. Up next week will actually be a really good week for that. If you are interested, just send me a DM message. I'll get with you. You'll learn some basic meteorology. Your mind will go crazy and you'll love it. Send me a message if you were interested. The people that first come first will get it first. So Justin, I know you're on that list. I've got a couple people that are on the list I'm kind of working through. So I have not forgot about you, and I have not forgot about anybody else that has messaged me. So if you were interested in that, message me. Yeah, September and October will probably be crazy. It typically is every single year. Hopefully we just don't have another Halloween 2.0 or some other crazy crap. But as we entered last year at this time, the Gulf was warm, the Caribbean was warm, and we had some massive stuff happen. So I hope I am not covering a major hurricane in the Panhandle of Florida next month. That's not something on my bucket list that I would prefer. So hopefully that's the case. But yeah, if you guys are interested and you want to learn weather with Mezzo, message me. Don't be shy. I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to chop your head off. I am here to teach and help you guys understand weather. That is my goal. So message me, message me. But anyways, are those 30s at the end? Whoa. So that's even something crazy you look more forward to. How about that, guys? That's like going towards September. I know that's over 300 hours out, but I got to tease you guys a little bit, right? I got to tease you guys just a little bit. So Erin is going out to sea, guys. Once again, I will be posting a kind of a rage video tomorrow after my forecast video. I'll be calling out all of the fearmongers and people that said Erin was going to slam into the East Coast, and it did not, because they have no common sense. They can't believe real-time data, and most of those people think that it's government controlled. Anyways, yeah, well, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah. 99L, we're gonna watch 99L. 90L will be going here. Let me pull it up here. So this is 90L, and this is 99L. 99L we need to watch, and I say that because if it low rides and keeps its convection and doesn't fall apart, we may have something moving into the Caribbean next week that the ensembles and models don't quite yet see, and that's just typical watching on Tropics. So it's something we're going to be watching there. 90L will be going out to sea. There is full model and ensemble support, as you see right here, of an out to sea curve. So we'll be watching that. Like I said, also we could see a little spin up tropical system along the outer banks of North Carolina, East Coast, South Carolina here. I'm not too certain on that yet. The European ensemble show it, but the GFS don't. So we'll kind of watch this as we get towards Monday and Tuesday of next week. If I've got anybody that's in North Carolina and South Carolina on the beaches there or on the central and eastern portions, kind of just be mindful of that. But I'm not thinking anything too crazy on that. And then, like I said, we've got our low rider here that we'll be watching. So really not any, crazy United stuff happening. Not a lot of stuff happening. Most of this stuff will be out to sea. Thank goodness, but I can't say that about September and October. I just can't. I don't know what that's going to present us with. So we'll have to see what happens. So thank you guys for the follows as well. If you are new here, do hit that follow button. We just hit 100K on the channel the other day, which is super, super exciting. I absolutely love that. You guys have been amazing, amazing as well. And we're going to keep chugging. We're going to keep chugging along. So next goal is 1 mil in about 20 years when that day gets here. If TikTok is still a thing. I know, I forgot to get him. I'm going to get him tomorrow. I'm going to get him tomorrow, Manders. I appreciate that, Quebec. I appreciate that. I try to keep my streams very entertaining, but also very serious and informative, because that's what they're supposed to be. So you guys come here for weather, you're going to get weather. Sometimes you might get a Mesomat rage, as we've been through the last couple of days. Sometimes you might get some Mesomat sassy time. It happens. I don't like to deal with people that don't have common sense, or people that like to fearmonger in my chat. If you do that in my chat, you definitely will get called out on and roasted on during my streams, 100%. And a lot of people are like, oh, don't acknowledge the chat if they're being mean. That's not professional. Once again, don't mean this when I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but this is my platform, not theirs. So I can do what I want on my platform. That's all I'm going to say. Some people like it though, so it's cool. But anyways, that will be interesting. So other than that, what do you guys have for me? What questions do you guys have for me? Like I said, Erin is leaving the premises here. I'll pull out here. You guys can see. That sounded really wrong. But anyways, Erin is going out to sea, whether you like it or not. It's going out to sea. Sorry, guys. It's not slamming into the East Coast. I know, I've come to terms of doing my weather reports in a little bit of spice. So, some people like it. Judge, what is up? Good to see you. The last night was fun. Did something happen after I left the call, or after I left your stream? Sadly, if we get something, most of the times, this going into September and October, if we get something that develops down here, a lot of the times it does go up into the Gulf. So hopefully that's not the case. Maybe we can get something that goes towards the peninsula, but the pattern typically favors it. So we can just cross our fingers that nothing develops in the Caribbean or the Gulf this year, but that's probably unlikely, just given what we're going to have pattern-wise going into the next couple of months. So yeah, people thought it was going to hit New York, and I don't understand where that information was coming from. I don't get that. People can't trust meteorologists, but yet we get these forecasts nailed pretty well, right? I mean, you guys that have been watching for the last 7 days as we've been covering this storm, pretty spot on with the forecast, I would say. I would at least think so, right? I felt fully confident in the forecast. The confidence was there, and it verified, as weather verifies. We don't have Hurricane Fernand right now. We don't even have a tropical depression yet. This thing looks like crap. It looks like garbage right now, but it does have a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days here. So, but as you guys can see, Fernand will be going out to sea also. I don't even know why this is embarrassing. I don't even know why they gave this guy a highlight. This makes absolutely no sense here. Honestly, in a sense of things, we could get 3 more named storms. We'll have Ferdinand here, possibly Gabrielle, and then Humberto would be next if this were to develop. So if all 3 of these storms were to get tropical storm status, we could go through 3 names fish storms over the next week or so. So. Yeah, that's a good thing. We want them to follow each other out to sea. That's a good thing. A lot of the times in August, we'll have troughing that's coming off the East Coast, and it'll allow for these storms to mostly push off. So, welcome in weather app for daily forecasts and warnings. My radar's good. I don't like a lot of weather apps. WeatherWise is okay. They're new. But if I would get a radar app that has like the 7-day forecast instead of like AccuWeather or some of these other ones because they're not that accurate. The Gabrielle, well, we don't have those names yet. Yeah, we don't have those names yet. So this one is trending west, but it's getting ready to move into a very unfavorable environment here. So that's why the little circle here is a lot smaller compared to this one, and then this one's as well. So we'll see what they do on the 8 o'clock update. If they tweak some things, we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, WeatherWise is awesome. WeatherWise is awesome. I don't use it in my streams, but I've heard it's really, really good, and I've seen the stuff on it. So if you use WeatherWise, absolutely worth it. I hate people that use the Windy app that get on and just show model runs that are over 100 hours out and try to say a major hurricane's coming up the East Coast when it's not. So there's that. You just have to learn when you're looking at weather apps and you're looking at weather models that are simulating, radar runs of things, you guys just have to remember anything over 100 to 150 hours out is more than likely not going to happen unless, it trends for a good amount of time or we see a system already going. So I was going to say, there's JoJo. I was waiting for it. It's random names every single year generated. Random names every year. So, but as you guys have learned with Hurricane Erin, all of those fear-mongering people out there that said it was going to slam into the East Coast, uncredible sources are always wrong. Every time. Every time. Never fails. I was not worried about this hurricane causing landfall impacts. I was barely worried about it all. Yes, it was a massive storm. Yes, it was impressive. Yes, it broke records. But she's going out to sea as forecasted, so. Get to follow me too. Yeah, if you guys don't follow JoJo in chat, give her a follow. She's freaking awesome. Great friend of mine. So, I'm going to stay on here for just a few more minutes, guys. You'll probably hear chatter in the house. Rochelle's got people over, so I'm going to get off here in a few minutes. I got to go run and get pizza. I have the Panthers are playing tonight for their last preseason game against the Steelers, so I'm going to be watching that game in about an hour. And then, yeah. So. Yeah, I'm going to go pick up pizza. I entered my first 5K, guys, in over 2 weeks for Saturday, so I will be running a 5K on Saturday now that I'm not sick and gross and feeling like crap. So, there's that too, which I'm super excited for. But... Well, once again, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching. Weather team, thank you. I will have a lot longer of a stream tomorrow, guys. We'll get on here, hang out, talk more weather stuff. But yeah, if you guys are interested, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Come message me. I'm offering free meteorology 101 classes with Mesomat. Just send me a message. I'll get a time and a date with you, and we can work on things. But send me a message if you learn about weather. I got you guys. I'm here for that. I have a good amount of time next week to get with people, so message me if you are interested. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Also, I would love if you guys would come hang out when we do our fun streams. So there's Hurricane Erin. What is up, bud? You're about done with there, bud. You're going bye-bye. You're going bye-bye. Oh, man. You are going bye-bye. That was a Hurricane Erin came in the stream the other night when we hit 100K. That was funny. It was fun seeing everyone at least. You know, Erin, if you wouldn't have been lodged between two ridges and we didn't have a cold front coming through, you would have caused a bunch of damage on the East Coast, dude. So pretty glad we kind of kept you out like bug spray. We kicked that bug spray out and you gone. So there's that. Yeah, like I said, there's a new one forming behind Erin here, but that was also supposed to go out to sea as well. So pretty confident in a recurve on this next system. So as it looks like it's looking right now, it looks like garbage, but this system will be also recurving out to sea as of right now. So, but y'all, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna get ready to go get some pizza and get ready to watch some football for a little bit. And yeah, once again, just message me if you're interested. What's up, TRG? Good to see you, bud. Good to see ya. But other than that, y'all, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Weather team, thank you guys for being here as always. And message me if you're interested, and I'll see you guys later on. Good.